What's up, guys? Here back with another video. We are going to be having a very big area of severe weather and winter and a big winter storm. So first we are going to be talking about the severe weather risk, and then we'll close to the end of the video, we will be talking about the winter storm. So if you are getting impacted by the winter storm, then skip to a little further on in the video to get to that. But if you're someone in these severe risk, then stay right here. So this is a day 1 severe list. So today's severe risk. So you got a big area of severe weather all the way into southern Missouri, western Arkansas, northern Texas, Oklahoma, and extreme southeastern Kansas. Then you got a big slight risk of severe weather right here in areas like Tulsa, Oklahoma, Oklahoma City, Fort Worth, Dallas. Those are the biggest cities. There's probably other smaller cities through this area into here. And then, so my zone, this isn't going to be the biggest tornado threat, like not as big of a tornado threat as it will be tomorrow. I think this will be mostly a hail and wind threat day. So you've got a big area of wind. So anywhere in Tulsa, Oklahoma City, Fort Worth, and Dallas, Texas, you have a threat for damaging winds of. So if you're in this area, I missed something. In this area, be on the lookout for some pretty bad severe weather and with wind gusts. Remember, this is only a slight risk, so not as big as tomorrow. But now, the hail threat's a little different. Fort Worth and Texas are only in the 5%, same with Tulsa. The biggest hail threat is more shifted into this area right here. So if you're in any of that things, then just be careful because you could get some dangerous severe weather. And remember, this is going to be an overnight severe weather threat. So it's not like some kind of 5, 6 o'clock or noon thing, even though I know it's 5 o'clock, 5:19 for me. Still, it's going to be more of an overnight, OKC is going to be impacted by this, close to, midnight. That's how crazy it is. And then it's crazy because up here, it's so crazy. Up here, it's going to be snowing, and then down here, there's going to be severe weather. So the area that I'm predicting is going to have the highest chances of a isolated tornado, or a few tornadoes. Remember, anywhere in this yellow shaded area could get a tornado. But the area that I think has the highest chance of getting a tornado is into this area. I just think down here is their biggest threat. I'm going to make it a little better. Right about there is where my biggest severe weather threat, in my opinion. And then you got the tornado threat. Actually, I didn't even see this yet. Pretty similar to where I think it would be. See, the biggest threat is into here for 5%, and then a little lower in OKC, Tulsa, and Dallas, Fort Worth. So, yeah, a few tornadoes are probably possible today into Oklahoma, southern Oklahoma, and North Texas. Now on to day 2, categorical outlook. Let's see, will Ohio Valley work? I don't really know. I'm going to check southeast. That is hard. That is actually hard. It's so weird. It's like you get to see certain areas that you go, you know? I'm going to do Ohio Valley first. You won't be able to see South Florida, but actually, to be honest, I could just do continental U.S. So there's a big area of a marginal risk. There's too many states for me to list in this marginal risk area. But then there's a big area of a slight risk of severe weather in here, and then a big enhanced risk into this area right here, including areas like Nashville, Birmingham, Tuscaloosa. I think even Jackson is being impacted by this. Memphis. Those are some major cities that could be being impacted. Tuscaloosa isn't a major city. Birmingham's kind of big. It's not too big. It's not the biggest I've seen, but I'm just gonna show some stuff. But my area I'm predicting the highest area for a significant tornado or two. Remember, tornadoes can happen anywhere in here, to be honest. Mostly in here. But the area where I think the most significant tornadoes could possibly be is right into here. That's the area I think it's going to have the highest risk for a significant tornado. Right there. Then you got the wind risk is a decent 30% for winds, so pretty decent risk of winds. If you're in this area, be on the lookout for some damaging wind gusts. And then the hail threat, it's much lower. It's a 5% in a big area, but it's much lower. A threat for hail. Now the tornado threat. So you have a big area of 2%, 5%, and 10% and significant risks all into here. 5% into here, and then you got your 10% into here. You got your significant risk of tornadoes with the biggest threat into Nashville, Jackson, Memphis, Birmingham. I think Birmingham is like a little bit out of that 10%, but I think Tuscaloosa is in the 10%. And in Nashville, Memphis, those areas, Jackson is all in this threat for severe weather, right? For significant tornadoes. So that's your risk. This is going to be a pretty long video. But now to what I'm thinking. There's a big area of a lot of rain. And you can see all this. Good area of 1 inch or more, all the way. Anywhere in these darker pinks could get an inch of rain or more. But if you see the area that I'm thinking that is already shooting a flood watch, and it's going to get a good area of 2 to 3 inches of rain, and some small pockets of 3.5 to 4 inches, and maybe some little pockets. That could happen, but it's not very likely. This area right here. And then you got your excessive rainfall as a marginal risk today in this area. Not very high, but there's still that risk. Then day 2, it's a slight risk all the way in here. Pretty big area. And then marginal all the way into here. It's a pretty big area of excessive rainfall. Oh yeah. So now into the forecast models for the winter storm. So you got this big rain area right here forming, and then you got some heavier pockets of rain into the area that I was saying could get some flooding right here. And snow, it's crazy. You guys, this is absolutely insane. You got snow on the backside and severe weather on this side. That's how crazy the cold front is. And then you got an area of snow, and then some freezing rain and ice is popping up into this area. And you can see a good area of freezing rain and sleet all into here, and then heavy snow forming up here. And then right here you see good area of heavy snow. some decent snow, and then the heaviest being up here near the freezing rain and sleet line. I'm just gonna show this. This might not happen, but it's just kind of cool to look at. This is really far out, guys, so just don't believe this automatically. look how many things at the weather. It's crazy. Just don't believe that. Only worry about this so far. It's still too far. Only worry about this. Okay. So now onto the European model for the system. I think the European model is very accurate for the system. You can see you got a decent amount of rain forming into here. Your severe weather is starting to form right here. I think this model is a little more accurate. And then you got severe weather pushing through, and then I think is what? Alright. And I think right here is an area of some areas can get some supercells into this area right here. You can see a lot of rain and some possible supercells into this area. And then you got right here. More turns into a damaging wind threat once it gets in here, but still some tornado threat possibility into this area is there. And then you got your snow swooshing through into this area, and so yeah, that's just something I wanted to show you guys. I'm gonna switch to the name. Alright, so that's that. That's the name. Bulk share. So you can see a good area of bulk shear, which is your tornado juice, like what Ryan Holliall says. Don't worry about this stuff because other stuff has to combine with it. So if you see a ton in here, that doesn't mean you're getting severe weather, or neither into here. It just means the bulk shear has to combine with other stuff to produce severe weather. So this area is a decent amount of reds of bulk shear, and then the big line of that you can see. So, yeah. You can see good amount of storm relative felicity. Let's see, attack supercell composite. You got a decent area of possible supercellular thunderstorm into this area, like what's forecasted. And then see your area of Cape comes through. This isn't gonna, remember, there's not a lot of instability in the air from this system. So that could affect the severe weather a little more to see what's gonna happen. Now the winter storm severity threat is a big, for today, is a big area of major and then moderate impacts into some of this area and then down here. And then days 2 is big moderate impacts. What the heck that is? Into this area right here, and some moderate and major impacts. A little more major in here, and then yeah, that's that. And this is the full days 1 to 3 overall impact. So good area of moderate to major impacts. And here.